What's up, everybody? And welcome to another edition of the Lamont's Gym Custom Live Show, the number 3 podcast. Y'all, I forgot, or some way, somehow, it slipped my mind that this is primary season. And I think next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, it's gonna be primary. They set them back a little bit because they had to do the redistricting thing. And if I'm not mistaken, in Alabama, we go to the polls May 19th. I forgot. And a friend of mine, he's actually running for a local office, Calhoun County Sheriff, and I've had his posters in my yard and got, some of his memorabilia for his campaign hanging around. And it totally slipped my mind. So don't let it slip your mind. Go to the polls May 16th, May 19th. May 19th. Yeah, I think that's the date. May 19th. And speaking of politics, campaigning, and all that good stuff, just like you, I've seen so many ads here lately, and when it's primary season, when it's election season in November, you hear a lot of dirt about these politicians. And a lot of the politicians that I'm not familiar with, that that's running for attorney general, running for governor, etc. You're hearing a lot of dirt. Now, whether half that crap is true or not, unless they show you some documents, doing the ad, then don't believe it. But it's actually crazy. But listen, in a free red state like Alabama, we pretty much know who we are putting in office. It's gonna be a conservative, but some of the ads I've seen on some of these conservatives, like some female running for attorney general, we don't want her representing us. She's a not even a rhino. She's what they call a Democratic Republican, a Republican Democrat. Um, and listen, I'm just now hearing about this, via the ads. And like I said, ads can get brutal. So, but everything that they put on this ad is documented. So that's somebody that we don't need to be voting for. Can't remember her name, but I'm pretty sure you're getting it on your phone, your social media ads, your TV commercials. So just make good common sense choices when you're voting these people in office. You know, electing the leader of our country and our senators are very, very, very important. But even more so, the people in our local elections are 300 million times more important because they control pretty much, what you do on a daily basis in your communities, in your cities, in your areas. And we don't want any Democratic, socialist, liberals running anything here in Alabama. Period. So that's that. And listen, not getting off that subject, let me just say this. On the conservative side, and this is here in Alabama, and I'm pretty sure it's like this nationwide, but matter of fact, I know it's nationwide because I've seen a couple of ad campaigns out of other states. When it comes to the conservative ads, they pretty much beating each other up, and rightfully so. It's politics. It's a dirty game. But I see ads where, individuals are saying, listen, this person was supposed to do A, B, C, and D, and they didn't. They failed their constituents. And I've seen where candidate so and so did A, B, C, and D, and they did what they were supposed to do, as an elected official. But when it comes to liberals, both here in Alabama and nationwide, they don't run on anything. All I've seen is social justice ads. Social justice ads. That's all I've seen when it comes to the liberal primaries. So and so supported a gun buyback program. What does that got to do with serving your people that elected you? So and so is a social justice warrior. Well, that damn sure ain't done that for the constituents. This has to end in politics. This color identity, social justice, kumbaya garbage. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. And listen, living here in Alabama, we only hear about this noise from the outside because you ain't got no. Well, at least here lately, you ain't had too many social justice warriors, hooping and hollering. I know you did in Tennessee, and you maybe have one or two in Birmingham somewhere, but for the most part, we don't have to put up with that garbage. Leave that for Chicago and LA and New York. But just the fact that you still have people that is running and doing the politics on identity is stupid. I don't want my elected officials worried about the color of my skin. I want them to be worried about the welfare of my family. Well, that's my job. I'm gonna worry about the welfare of my family, but I want them to make sure our you know what? Yeah, the welfare of my family. I want my roads paved. I want the underbrush burnt off so it won't cause wildfires in my area. I want the criminals off the street. I want more cops on the street. I want the criminals off the street. So yeah, it's my job to worry about the welfare of my family, but it's also the people we put in office because they make the choices to put more cops on the street. They make the choices to make make sure the roads are paved. They make the choices that make my family safe when they leave my house. And I have not heard one thing, not one, that a Democrat liberal in this state or any other state that has said anything about an issue. And when they do these ads, like I said earlier, it get kind of brutal. When it comes to these ads, it doesn't. The one Democrat don't say anything about another Democrat doing anything positive. It's how much woke I can be just as woke as he or she. It's how they gonna out woke each other. What about the issues? What about the core issues? Taxes, food prices, which they probably can't do too much of that because gas, fuel, and that type of thing rule that. But there are things that state and local officials can do with grocery taxes, with gas taxes. And that's one reason I love the state of Tennessee, Texas, Mississippi, and I may be missing one or two, but when it comes to certain different type of taxes, I think Florida's one of them. They don't have to worry about things. Income tax is one of them. They don't have to state income tax. They don't have to worry about none of that. Now they got to make up for it, and I think the lottery for I know at least Florida, Mississippi, and probably Tennessee too has put a lot of money in the pot where they don't have to worry about property taxes and grocery taxes and things like that. The lottery has, but in Alabama we don't have that. In Alabama, we source the states, especially around us, who have the lottery. And teachers on. I don't gamble, but teachers on. If you want to go there and make Georgia schools better than ours, knock yourself out. I listen. I really we need a lottery, but then again, I don't want it. because it's just like alcohol and drugs, marijuana and dope. You got people like, what's the harm? What's the harm? Hell, I've even said it about marijuana. You know, hell, my damn own children smoke dope. So what's the harm? They don't go out and kill nobody. When all actuality, we know it's dangerous. We know it's harmful. Alcohol the same way. Oh yeah, but they got rid of prohibition, so everybody drinking and dying of liver cancer and all other kind of health issues dealing with that. So you do the gambling thing, and you see how rampant gambling is now. We don't even have it, but you got individuals at University of Alabama betting on games and betting here and betting there, and it's just horrible. So we gotta rely on these evils, to take the place of taxes. Listen, that's another debate, another conversation for another day. I just wanted to, say, hey, listen to your conservative politicians who are running, and listen to what they got to say, because they do have something of substance, whether it's them promoting themselves or saying something against another candidate that has done dirt. But when it comes to liberals, you ain't gonna hear nothing positive whatsoever. So just want to remind you guys, go to the polls May 19th. I love you and I appreciate you. And as always, in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, you guys stay blessed, and I'll catch you next time.